Welcome. My name is Brian Knight and I live near Melbourne in Australia, and it's just about to turn 5 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday here. I suppose most of the world, rest of the world is still on a Wednesday for the moment. Let me just share this first. Welcome to this live Forex analysis session. Just note that any trades discussed in this group are to be classed purely as educational only. That's because we're a group of people who help each other and we are not financial advisors. There is a full risk disclosure and there's a little bit about us as live session traders down here. So that's where we are at the moment. So welcome, Darren and Thomas. Tom? Yeah. Let's just...
JPY is going the wrong way today.
Oh, yeah.
In fact,
All
I
of
think
them.
every trade I'm in have all gone the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm negative in all. Well, I'm in drawdown on all my trades. The five, which is actually 10, but that's okay. That's where things sometimes sit, and that is the life of a trader. Welcome, Tom. Yes, I got the video that you sent me.
Okay.
It's worrying what the effect of the crazy one is.
Coming to a town near you, man.
No, no. It's that's not going to happen. I can tell you now. I think the last federal election, he put up the same thing and had got one person out of it. So he doesn't have any say really at all. He's just a crazy.
I hope you're right.
I think.
Who's
Oh
this
no,
Trump,
we are.
this Trump you're talking about again? Or
Yeah, no. Tom sent me some. There's a billionaire that lives here.
all right, yeah.
What was it, eighth or 80th or something, eighth richest or something in Australia, whatever. Anyway, last elect, I don't think it's actually last couple. He actually has paid for. It creates a political party. It's called the Australia United Party. It was. It's a bit like what have you got in the UK, like Faro or something, the UKIP or whatever it is. Similar sort of like radical right, to the right sort of party. Anyway, he puts there's 150 seats in the parliament here, in the House of Reps, and he puts up, he gets 150 wood ducks to be on the ballot. Now, he just had an argument in the High Court just recently that he let his United Party what do you call it, registration lapse or whatever. And so he wanted to redo it. And they said, oh no, you can't. You've missed out or whatever time, like, whatever it was. So he took it to the High Court of Australia and they said, nah, you can't do it. So he goes, oh beauty, we'll just make a new party, a new name, and we'll register that. That'll be okay. Which was okay. And he's called it, what was it? The trumpeter the trumpeter something or other party in in uh in some sort of a nod to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Trumpeter Patriots. That's the Trumpeter Patriots Party. So he's now paying, he actually pays about the same as what each one of the major parties spends on their sort of election campaign. He spends it just as in, yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said last time, I think you got one person into the parliament out of the whole lot, so really no effect whatsoever. Right, we're on to pairs, and yes, that's the world effect of a crazy. Oh no, AUD CAD. It's still moving in the right direction from triangle and stuff. Never took
Yeah.
it, but
I'm still in some of these trades that I've would have took half out and then got stopped out at
Yeah.
break even. I do have a couple of smaller accounts where I'm duplicating
Yeah.
these trades, and I'm just leaving those on the old rules. So I am
Oh,
still in 2 or 3 trades under the old rules,
and
simply
it,
because it's just too much messing about on smaller accounts.
yeah.
I've been trying to split the trades and have different stop losses. Um, so it'll be interesting to see sort of in a few months' time or whatever, how those smaller accounts have performed, compared with my sort of main accounts. So the smaller accounts on the old rules and the main accounts on the new rules.
Okay.
Because I'm still in this AUD count and it's pushing up again.
Mm, mm,
So it'd be interesting that. So yeah, it'd be a good way of
yeah.
comparing the two.
Yeah. Well, AUD is pushing up, but it made it to the 3/4. So you're in a sort of a half a trade, half an original 1% or whatever, and it's still pushing up.
Well, the half one then got stopped out at break even, but I've got a small account.
Oh,
Got the same trades on, but I've left them on the old rules. Just running those on the old rules
okay. Yeah.
as a
All right.
comparison with. So on the small account under the old rules, I'm still
Oh,
I'm still in it.
and you didn't take any at 3/4.
Correct. Yeah, I've just leaving it,
Oh, right. Okay.
just letting it do its thing in the way I used to do
Yeah, 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 yeah,
the
yeah.
main account.
Okay. And what about the JPYs? Have you done the same thing with that, or you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, same, same. So USD
Gosh.
JPY, I'm still in that on the small account under the old rule
Yeah,
with
yeah.
with with the old stop loss and everything else.
Which was below
The
the old
swing.
stop,
Oh yeah, yeah,
which was down here.
yeah.
Okay.
As I say, so then I can compare over a period of time,
Yeah.
the results. And then also, as I say, because it's just a lot of fiddling about on a small account,
Hmm.
moving
Hmm.
stop losses and
No, no, no. That's okay. That's fair enough. Anyway, that's still pushing up, and if you're in it, then that's all great. If you got two trades and it went to 3/4 or whatever, it came back and whatever, so yeah, it doesn't matter. You're not in that, but yeah. Anyway, new and old rules. Let's see which one rules.
yeah.
Which rule rules? Okay, AUDCHF. That's also pushing up. The Aussie dollar's getting itself some strength, even though they lowered that interest rate. Now, the unemployment figure is supposed to, um, I mean, the RBA needs to. Anyway, that'll come out. That may affect this a little bit, but I doubt it. I think the market's already sort of factored it in. Um, it would just be nice when it comes out and we get some sort of a sell-off. We'll see. AUD one, I never got into one of the JPYs because of no triangle here. There's also inflation rate for Japan. So that's yet to come out. That'll be your tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, late. Okay. So it's yeah, all right. So basically it's my tomorrow. All right. No worries. So that also is pullback, but nothing significant. I mean, that was a significant push up. So this pullback's nothing really. It's not like as if it's charged down and taken out the low. So we'll see. 80 NZD. Now, after a big push up yesterday, it did push up, came up towards the rail, and then just sucked back. Um, just waiting for it to come outside, give us a triangle, and then we potentially have a sellout from there. There is so much just going sideways at the moment, Darren. We're not out at any sort of space, outside of any rails. Right, AUD and Singapore, it's still sort of getting its push up as well. So all these AUDs are sort of strengthening, except for that AUD JPY. And then AUD USD. That's had a couple of days of pullback there, which just shows again the US dollar strength coming back for some reason. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm just thinking, I was just thinking the US as far as this whole Ukraine war negotiation stuff. It's very interesting. How to piss off a lot of people real quick.
Oh,
Huh?
I'm quite annoyed about that. It must be quite sickening for
Ukrainians
for
and Europe.
But I mean for Zelensky to see these images of the Americans and the Russians round a table.
Deciding how to carve up the
Must be
Sunday roast.
I think it's just utterly scandalous what's going on. Absolutely shameful. I think it's really shameful what they're doing here.
Did you see what he was saying about Ukraine? Zelensky and like about Ukraine and as if they caused the problem.
Yeah, I know. Just even whether he means it or not, it's just shameful. Really. And I even threw some comment in there that Zelensky's not very popular. He only has 4% approval rating in Ukraine. He just makes stuff up as well. Just absolutely. Yeah, it's just so he's really having a go at Zelensky now. He's really targeting him now. See, there should be an election. He's not very popular, etc., etc. It's just, I just think it's quite sickening actually to see it.
Yeah, he wants to be the big guy the big bully who goes and gets some solution. Like I don't know. I feel quite sick about it too, don't I?
Yeah.
Just go like,
I mean, he's made this election pledge, hasn't he, to end the war very quickly. So that's all he's trying to do. He's not bothered about what happens to Ukraine at all. He's just then he can put the tick in the box that he ended the war. So I think that's all there is to it, really. And he can move on and do something else.
wreck a bit more stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's AUD USD. Yes, a bit of even though all these AUDs are strengthening up as such, except for JPY. Now, obviously, the US dollar is strengthening up a bit, and we'll see that further down in the US trade. So CAD CHF, nowhere near the rail, not a trade. CAD JPY came out, no triangle, push back up, coming back down again now. So the CAD's weakening off. But Japanese yen is strengthening. We'll just see what happens when this comes out, inflation rate. It may, anyway, we'll see. CHF JPY, again, that Swiss franc to the Japanese yen. In two trades on this, it's pulling back now. We can draw down on that. So we did have a triangle, like we did have a triangle there. Pushed up, pulled back, pushed up. Yeah, pushed down, like came out of the rail even, pushed up, and it's pulling back a bit. Like as I said, the last 24 hours there's been pullback on all of them. Slightly disappointing, but that's okay. So, it doesn't matter. It's just a fact of life for trading. Right. Let's look at the euros. Euro AUD. So the euro's dropping off, and that's okay. I'm not in any of this trade, so just waiting for it to come out to the rail, and then we'll see whether we get any pushback up from that, which it did there, for example. Plenty of examples of it doing what we have this strategy plan, very relaxed about it. It's not so relaxed when you're in drawdown though, Darren, but it is relaxed when you've made it back into into break even and profits. But anyway, EuroCAD. Again, that sort of danced all over the place a bit. It was coming out to the rail, it's pulled back. I think it will push back down. The euro tends to be weakening off. This just shows that the CAD is weaker. Canadian dollar, we'll see. Euro and Swiss franc. Just in that middle there. The typical sort of Swiss franc with something just sits in the rails by the time. Euro GBP. Now it did push down in the last 24 hours. It's sort of creating a sort of change of direction. So it may not make it out. We'll just see how this plays, but it is continuing to sell off that top up here. It may not quite make the rail. We'll just see. This is one to watch over the next week or so. Euro JPY. It's come back and touch that 25% Tom. We'll see if we get some sort of turn at this.
Yeah, I already have my buy stop set up.
Good. Yeah, well, that's right. I'm just looking and waiting. So again, I'm in drawdown on this 2 trades and stuff, which is okay.
Well, it's still about 180 pips from the stop loss, so not
Yeah.
conservative yet.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think my stop's down here actually, but that's okay. At the moment, it's just where it is. I need to trial what this strategy is, and then we'll see from there. Euro NZD. It is with this relaxed method. It does take a period of time to prove certain parameters of the strategy. So, Euro NZD still pushing itself back down to just like Euro AUD, not anywhere to make a decision. I mean, it was there, but that wouldn't have fulfilled the criteria for you, Darren. And down here, it's sort of similar. So we're in the throes of things, just sort of sideways moving at the moment, slowly creeping towards wherever. Euro Singapore. Again, this one's been slowly pulling itself back down again, coming back to the midline, not to the other side, and then back down again. We'll need to sort of get some movement to get a feel for that one as well. Euro USD is always pretty well a slow mover, but again, it hasn't come to the outside of the rail, and it's pushing back down again purely because US dollar has strengthened, and you can see the euro's faltering against a few of the pairs. So, again, it'll be, what have we got here? FOMC minutes. Oh, that was on the 19th. Home sales. It could be those minutes that have sort of pushed the US dollar stronger. We'll see. Right, GBP. And
it's still bottom of the currency strength.
Euro USD.
Okay, so yeah.
Which one? The US dollar.
Yeah, the US dollar.
Yeah.
So it could
Yeah,
just
but
be
it has, we'll
a bit of
see
a
further
pullback.
in the US ones. I mean, it's not crazy violent, but it is gaining some strength. So GA, um, a little bit of sideways stuff over this week too, nothing significant up or down. And GN's very much the same thing. GBP CAD, it's pushing up there nicely off that, but it hasn't come out to the rail, so no potential trade. But Tom, you might be getting a bit out of this one. I know you're out of that one,
No,
Darren. I
I'm
know
not
you.
in this. I'm waiting for the pullback back to
Aha.
the 75% zone
Yep.
before it drops off again.
Okay.
It's not going to
Yeah.
break this high,
No,
and it's going to turn. So my fib is from
it's
that.
broken the short, which is fair enough. And but going sideways, so you're saying
Yeah,
potentially you
but
wait.
my fib is from that short to the long to
Ah,
your
from
left,
here down.
all
Okay.
the way down. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for it to pop back up into the 75 zone, not break that
Oh yeah.
secondary
Not break
high,
the
and then
high.
drop
Yeah.
off to the bottom.
Okay. Fair enough. That is fair enough. Good. Okay. GBP CHF. It is a bit of a waiting game, isn't it? Again, this is another CHF, but it
Yeah, but with
is.
news coming up, it could spike
Yeah.
right into the zone and just spike right back out again. So
Yeah.
I already
Yeah.
have my trade set up.
You got to be ready, haven't you? You just can't wait for it to happen and then think, oh, I should have been there. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. So not the rails there. GJS had another sort of disastrous day of pullback. Doing two trades of that, we'll see. What's the inflation rate came out at 3? Wow, that's a lot higher than expected.
Mm.
Okay, and maybe that's why it's pulled back. We'll see. All right. As I said, I'm in two trades. That gave me a triangle. It's still there. Did a long, did a push up. Now it's doing pullback. You know, typically the strategy is that we'll get another push back up. Anyway, hopefully that is what happens. GN, just like GA, same, sitting in the middle here. Um, if you had to come off that trade, where was that back? Second, third, whatever, January. Okay, GBP and Singapore. Now it's done a little bit of a pullback. It's still just sitting around that 50%. Just you're still in that, Darren, I think you
Yeah.
said. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
it
Yeah.
hasn't quite made the 3/4. It was looking hopeful, but it's got to do that pullback just to then push itself back up again. So hopefully that GBP Singapore works out for the 3/4 for you. And GU, actually the GBP Singapore, that's where you've got the two trades on, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And the GU you did, it was too early for that, but this was coming close to the rail. Now it's pulling back. And anyway, at least it made the 3/4 for you. At least one trade. The other one is risk free at this point. Okay. You haven't considered to move it to, oh, here's probably about entry anyway. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rightio. Now, we'll just see that pullback. It could just keep pushing. We've still got a green trend behind, so we'll see. All right, NZDs, NCAD in the middle, nothing really, you worthwhile. And there's one green triangle there, but for you, it's got nothing out of there now. I don't know if I'm still, I don't know if it was that one. No,
Yep.
it is. Okay. Seems to be just dancing around at the moment.
Yeah, it's got to go. It's got to push down just a little bit. It's got two equal highs down towards the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Got to take out those equal highs before it pushes back up.
Mm.
I already put my third trade on, so I'm just waiting for that big push back up so I can throw on a fourth trade.
Mm. Mr. Stacker, the pancake man.
Well, we'll
Okay.
see.
Yeah, we will. That's right. No green triangle, being a push up, 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 up. So these CHFs are just more and more you see they're just bit of Luddites just sitting in the middle of the rails. All right, NZD JPY. This one's the not it's again negative. It did push up, push back down. It's come back to the middle of the candle. This one had there is no long, so Darren, you wouldn't potentially, or did one come and disappear?
Um,
I don't think you're in this trade. I am.
oh,
I am. I've got
no,
candle out. I've
no,
got a green
no, never had a
triangle.
long, never had a
Yeah,
long on
okay.
this.
Right, yeah. No worries. So yeah, no, you haven't. Potentially, I'm in two trades on this one. It's when I took it when it changed the trend bar. So in a little bit of drawdown at the moment. All right, NZD USD. So with the US dollar strengthening, but it's sort of just pushed things into the middle at the moment. Nothing's come out to the outside rail. And just wait for that and then get a trade back. So it could take days, weeks, whatever it is. Now, Singapore and Japanese yen, again, I've got, if you look here, let's say you're in down and this will be in drawdown at this point. But typically, this strategy does draw down after you get in,
Yeah,
typically, and then push it. So this is what's going to be, this inflation rate will potentially either push it further down or back up more. And if it does push it down, hopefully it's not going to break where our stop losses are sitting. Right now, these are the couple. UCAD is I looked at that before. It didn't. What do we got? No, it's still red. Okay. So this is for me a potential trade. Got a green triangle. It didn't come outside the rail, so it probably doesn't sort of have a potential for you, Darren. But for me, I'm waiting for a green trend bar change. If I get a green trend bar change and I've got this, it doesn't mean it won't pull back down, but I don't need a long or short yet. It might come. So I'm looking this as a potential opportunity because the CAD has weakened off and the US dollar really. This was when I looked at it nearly an hour ago. This was down a bit. It's doing a bit of a surge. It hadn't sort of come up to the rail. It now to the trend bar. It has now. So I'll see if it changes that or not. And it may not be until after the day's finished as such, the 24-hour period. And it moves over into Sydney Asian. USD CHF in the middle. I'm not going to sort of look at any trading that potentially. And UJ is the one that came down, bounced me out pretty quickly actually,
yeah,
and then going sideways at the moment. It hasn't come down and broken that low, but we'll see what happens again. The US and the Japanese news. Now the last one of the pairs again. This is what I've got on the pink range is there. This is also pushing up. We haven't got a green triangle. So without a green triangle, it probably won't be a trade for me, even if it changes the trend bar. I have to look at these ones and see. Because I think, as you said yesterday, Darren, you're looking for this to go further and then potentially push up. And maybe the same for the UCAD. Now, gold has just decided to push up and back down. You know, that 3,000 is just sitting up here. Not that far away. But it is faltering at the moment. I think it'll need to have a pullback before it does push up finally, if it does. And silver also doing the same thing. It's coming towards the outside of the rail. Bit different to the gold as well, and truly outside the rail. Bitcoin sort of still sitting around that 95, anywhere from 90 to 100 anyway. Just big washes up and down. And oil has come up again slightly, but not with any sort of significant strength though, Darren.
No.
And you've got your first sort of 3/4 out of it. You just wait
Yeah.
for it to, so you can see where it pulled up here, it didn't break, pulled up here, it hasn't broken so far. So maybe we'll get another push back down again. Right. That's the color of the pairs at the moment. So anything else to, oh, what the hell's, yeah, that's all right. So there, a few opportunities, those USD couple, but I'm waiting to see how that turns out. Anything else you want to add to the geopolitics or the world craziness? Yeah. No? Okay. Well, we'll see tomorrow. There'll
No,
be a
but
few
good luck to everybody.
Yeah, thank you. And to you, Tom. We'll see how you go with number 4 on that.
Yeah.
It is good having Trump's #1 fan in the room, isn't it? These calls.
It's what?
You didn't hear Tom?
No, I didn't hear what he said.
Oh no.
So it's good having Trump's #1 fan in the room.
I am the original never Trumper.
Never Trump. Yeah. History will share this anyway. Interesting part of a world. Yeah. That English Prime Minister is not not very happy at all.
Oh.
He certainly
Oh, it's in a difficult position there, isn't it? But it's interesting. The likes of Farage, he's gone quiet at the moment, because of course he's very much a big friend of Trump's, and of course it'd be so hypocritical if he now sort of started, back in these peace talks. They're very much the party of protect your borders and sovereignty, and Winston Churchill and all that sort of stuff. So he's gone very quiet. He's not heard nothing from him.
yeah, when you make your bed, you sort of got to lie in it, don't you? And
yeah.
but I'm pretty sure there must be a lot of pissed off Americans who voted for him to get what they think they wanted, and now they're being shat on from a big height. It's only the true believers are getting what they think they want. The ones that tip the the numbers to put him in it are being hammered pretty hard, I think.
I think
Well,
we should work.
even
I
his
think we should
supporters
work
are
perhaps
getting
on the.
screwed over.
What was that, Tom?
Even his supporters are getting screwed over. They just had a disaster.
That's what I said. Yeah.
They just had a disaster in I think it was Virginia, and Trump told them tough shit. Solve it on your own. Flooding in Kentucky, doesn't care. Call your local representatives. He's withholding all the aid to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a beautiful human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the carnival barker, and the puppet master is Musk in the background, just destroying shit as fast as he can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
has this Hesketh been sort of? Have they sort of reined him in now? Because he's. I assumed he'd be heading off to. He'd have headed off to Saudi Arabia to get involved in these discussions, but he seems. Has he been? Have they reined him in because?
No, nobody has reined him in at all.
Because
Not even
yeah.
a little. They're not even questioning what he's doing. They
I
don't
mean,
care.
you know, he's already going down as one of the worst negotiators I've ever seen by immediately giving half giving stuff up before the discussions have even talks have even started. That was incredibly bad, incredibly bad negotiating that.
He's the worst.
Yeah,
He's literally the worst, worst.
just clearly showing that he's totally unqualified and totally just completely out of his depth.
Yeah, what's
Totally.
funny is Kamala Harris said in her stump speeches, she said, if Trump wins, he's going to hand over Ukraine to Russia and sit in Putin's lap. And that's exactly what he's doing. Because Putin has something on him. He's got something on him.
Mm.
That PP tape is still out there somewhere. That's just fact. If you look at it from the perspective of Trump working for Russia and not the United States, everything makes sense. Now he's blaming Ukraine for the war because he's Putin's little bitch. There's no other way you can say he's not a Russian asset.
Mm. Yeah.
Look at his actions. I'm so hard on Putin. Well, here's half Ukraine. Go ahead and take it. Because Putin's soldiers died there fighting hard, so they deserve it. Yeah. And if Zelensky hadn't started this war, yeah, what an absolute insult to the human intelligence.
Yeah. Mm.
That's it.
Mm.
And Trump supporters are like, go Russia, go Russia.
Mm. Yes. Yes.
So now they're having their little, who's going to divide up Ukraine meeting, and then they're going to turn their focus on Poland and Europe.
To do what?
Overtake them.
Hmm.
Combination of both worlds. So it's a combination of Kim Jong-un, Putin, Trump,
Gee.
Belarus. That guy from Belarus is in there.
Lushenko.
Yep. They're going to have Europe surrounded. We're going to push into Canada. We're going to have the Mexican border sealed.
Mm.
China's going to take Taiwan.
Mm.
Yeah.
Canada made a deal with China just rerouted all sorts of stuff to avoid America now.
But China and Taiwan's are definitely the chances of that happening have definitely increased now.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Darren, do you think Europe will stand up and
Well, again, you see,
push Russia out, or
they're not very united in Europe, are they? Because they different opinions, which again is just playing into Putin's
Yep.
hands. So that doesn't help. You've got the sort of Germans saying one thing and the British Prime Minister saying something different, and
the
that's
French?
just that doesn't help. Divide and conquer is the old saying, isn't it? Divide and conquer.
Yeah, everything we thought was safe and normal is now twisted to where we've now joined the rogue nations to become the bad guys.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Or maybe it's all those TV series of the US going around killing their own people and killing other people for the sake of what's right.
Right. They just make this shit up as they go along. They just want world domination. If everybody in the world just said, who is not a government employee, just said, we're not doing this shit no more, you're all fired, and kept their money and didn't send it to them, they would have no power whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the smoke and mirrors. All right. Well, we'll see how that affects the market to a certain extent. That's what we're here for, to try and secure. And yes, I have a very deep feeling about Ukraine, and what's happening is really a craziness. Somebody thought they might take over part of US. Watch that happening, but when somebody else, anyway.
Well,
And then
California in November, is it November, I believe? I believe it's November. We have elections coming up in November. And on the ballot, because they got the 500,000 signatures that they needed, California is asking to separate from the United States. California, Oregon, and New Mexico, and possibly even Nevada. California is going to be the one that takes the first step.
is this for the elections? Sorry, Tom, just from an ignorance point of view, is this for governor or the election as such, or?
Yes, it is the governor's race, part of it. So it's going to
Okay.
have the governor's race on there, all these different bills, all these different amendments, all this kind of stuff that we're going to vote on. But one of the bills trying to be passed is the separation from the United States and become California its own country.
So from the ununited states, you mean?
Correct.
Okay. No, just trying to get that in the correct perspective.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you've got the ones that are united behind that are all red, isn't it? Or the strong red ones will want
The
to
seven
stay.
poor states in the southern half of the United States, all the red states are behind Trump, yes. But all the blue states, to the west, and the blue states up to the north, on the East Coast, are all blue, and they're tired of this shit too. And they're like, well, let's just form one big country. We'll join as one country, because between New York and California, the two populous states in the union, have the most money. It's like, well, why are we giving it to the red states?
Mm-hmm.
This is ridiculous, especially if we got to pay for all our own damages and everything else and natural events that happen. Why are we giving money to the government when they're just turning us away now?
Mhm.
It's going to get interesting here in a couple of years when all this
Mm.
starts really running fast.
I'm sure I'm sure I read something like California is something like is it the fourth or fifth largest economy in the world? So it's got bigger
Fourth.
economy than
Yeah, we're the fourth largest economy.
just that state alone has got bigger economy than virtually all countries
Yep.
across the globe.
Yeah. We are a juggernaut.
Mm. Yeah.
And they just outlawed homelessness here. So you're not allowed to be homeless.
But that's okay. You can send them over to fight. Send them over to fight for Russia.
Well, they're going to concentration camps or rehabilitation camps, as Trump's calling them. So Trump did you guys see that executive order about he signed that him and the U.S. attorney are the only ones that can make laws
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
defer laws now? Yeah.
Mm. Mm. I
Yep.
don't know why he allows someone else to sort of have a say. That seems a bit. He's obviously losing the plot.
Well, no, because it's his U.S. attorney. He can put whoever he wants in there. And she was the one who defended him in his trials against the United States. It's his own personal attorney. She'll do whatever he wants.
Not a conflict of interest.
Not at all.
Not at all. All right. Well, we have diced up pairs and we've diced up the world at the moment. We'll just see how things go. Darren, you keep doing your work there with Starman, and I'll, I'll keep supporting from a distance. Anyway. All right then. We'll
Right.
see you tomorrow for the end of the week.
All right.
We'll
Take care,
see
guys.